Leopard Gecko, Obloferis macularis, Obloferis macularis. Okay, so it is no secret that I have been super stoked and excited about leopard geckos these past couple of months. This is basically my collection. This is how I want to keep it. I don't want to get any more breeders in this, and these are all the groups I sought out to get, and this is all the projects that I'm doing. I promised myself, hopefully I don't break that promise. Now I wanted to start off with a couple geckos that I actually already paired up, and that is Milton, which we saw Milton in the last leopard gecko video, and this girl, which I named Fanta. Of course, they've been paired up together, so they are going to be a little bit more worn out, because leopard geckos and just any lizard, honestly, in general, when they start breeding with each other, they just start to get, you know, little marks here and there, and their color isn't the best. But as you can see, Milton here, he is a Tangerine Tornado, which is basically a line of Tangerine that is from the urban gecko in Canada. Technically, the phenotype of this animal and any Tangerine that we refer to in this video, is, unless I otherwise state it, is a super hypo Tangerine carrot tail baldy. Super hypo just means that it doesn't have any spots on the body. Tangerine, of course, is the color. Carrot tail is when they have most of their tail with orange coloration, and baldy is when they don't have any spots on the head. So that's what that means. And this is Milton, of course. The lucky lady that Milton is paired up with is Fanta right here, and she is from an OG Tang line of tangerines that are produced by a buddy of mine, Nick, at Leco My Gecko. Now, this girl is awesome. She was one of the most beautiful breeders that I have had and that I've put together so far, but she is a little bit more worn down. You can see she has a lot of carrot tailing, and this is actually the first high-end leopard gecko that I got that started this whole snowball effect. Okay, so that's Fanta. And then next, another female that will breed with Milton but isn't paired up to Milton yet because she is still a little bit on the younger side, is this girl that is also an OG Tang. So I like the OG Tang line, first of all, because my buddy Nick has just been working on it for so many years. I've seen him throughout all the reptile shows in Florida. He's always had the best tangerines, and I just thought it'd be really cool to just represent our state and my friend and have some of these OG Tangs. And this girl is absolutely nuts as well. Really has that bright red-orange coloration. Okay, so on our last leopard gecko video, I did show you guys one of my black knights here, and this is Killmonger. That's what I named him. And Killmonger is my male. He's being a little crazy right now, but you could see that he has been breeding with one of the females already, and the other female will be paired up with him probably early next year. But that one of the females was already ovulating, and she's a good size, so I thought I'd put them together. And you could see all that white speckling. They usually get that when they're breeding, because they're like kind of like nibbling on each other, kind of testing each other out. Killmonger here is actually a Max Snow Black Knight, and this one comes from Pico or Pico. I don't know how you pronounce that. So that is Killmonger. So this female here, she comes from, this one comes from TikisGeckos Creations, and she is just pitch black. This is my darkest Black Knight to this point, and this was also an outcross that was from a Max Snow to a Black Knight, but this one doesn't carry the Max Snow gene. And the Black Knights are basically melanistic geckos that are bred or line bred or polygenically bred to have as much black as possible, like this one here. And this girl is absolutely amazing, and she is paired up right now. Can't wait to see what they produce. And this last girl was also from TikisGeckos Creations, and this girl looks like she's about to go into shed. I got her. But she's also very dark, not as dark as that first female I just showed you, but still just like really, really high quality. This one will be paired up early next year. Again, I'm just looking to produce the darkest Black Knights possible, and I think this group will produce that. So I'm super excited about these three geckos, and that concludes my Black Knight project. Now on to the Tremper project. Now this is my Tremper albino project, and I have 5 geckos in this project. This male that I got is the brightest and most reddest orange I have ever seen on any leopard gecko ever. And remember, I just started getting really nice leopard geckos for myself, but I've been around and I've never seen anything like this guy. This guy is a melanistic Tremper that was crossed to a really nice Tangerine het Tremper, and they produced this animal. Now check this thing out. It is absolutely incredible. This one was bred by Extreme Exotics in Canada. Now this guy is still a little young. He's still gonna take a couple more months before I start breeding him, so he's actually probably in the best point of his color. But I mean, I just want you guys to take a look at this animal here. I was really blown back by the coloration of this gecko, and I'm really, really excited to put him into some of my Tremper females and make some high quality animals. All right, so this is the male. This boy will be meeting his lucky ladies in 2026. Now let me show you the females, okay? These next 3 females come from Mojave geckos, and I really love what Mojave gecko does with they have some really, really high quality animals. Actually, a lot of my geckos come from them. But this is a red diamond bold cross. You could see with this female here, she has like that super deep, bright orange stripe down the middle and just like a lot of carrot tailing, and just an overall gorgeous gecko. Cannot wait to breed this female here. Okay, the next female is a similar project. It is also a red diamond cross. But we would just call it a Tangerine Tremper Bold. And you could see on the bold markings here, of course, the coloration on these Tangerine Trempers is just out of this world. And Mojave breeds just high quality animals. So whenever I get something from them, I'm really excited. Very, very nice animal right here. The third female, and wait till you see the last female, because the last female is a little different and it's going to produce some awesome stuff. Now this last female, out of the 3 females from Mojave, this is my favorite one. And this is also a Tangerine Tremper Bold, but I just like this particular female's pattern more. I really love that jungle pattern, which traditionally leopard geckos will have bands going across. That's the type of pattern most leopard geckos have. And the jungle is when instead of, oh, she's okay, guys. I can't be dropping these like my crested geckos. Instead of bands, they have more of like aberrant type patterning all across their body, and it doesn't follow the traditional band look. And that's what I really like about these jungle bold Tangerine Trempers. But just the concentration of that deeper reddish orange color in the middle, and then the laterals, which is a little bit more of that yellowish orange in combination with the grays, and everything about this gecko is just absolutely beautiful. So that is my third Tremper Bold Tangerine. And this last female is a Tangerine Tremper white and yellow. And this one is just so freaking nice. This one comes from a buddy of mine in Arizona, and I believe it is Glenview Geckos. If not, I will put the correct breeder name down here because I want to give him his credit. He has the most incredible white and yellows I've ever seen, and this girl is just insane. Now, she is a Tremper, so she is an albino. Of course, she does have that tangerine pigment, and the white and yellow basically makes, like the name suggests, the animal have more white and yellow. White and yellows tend to have a lot more white on their sides and on their limbs and on their face. And it creates like a distinction between the yellow kind of staying closer to the top of the gecko and more of the white on the sides and on the bottom of the gecko. But you could see the tangerine kind of like highlights of this girl are just absolutely incredible. And I named this girl Heartbreaker because she does have like 2 hearts on her side there, which I thought was pretty cool. But I'm super excited to produce, I'm super excited to produce some really high quality white and yellow Tangerine Trempers with her and that male I showed you. So these next 3 geckos are actually probably my favorite group of Tangerine leopard geckos, the super hypo Tangerine carrot tail baldies. This is the male, this guy also coming from Mojave Gecko, except this guy is a pure Tangerine Tornado. So originally the lines come from those geckos in Canada. I absolutely love this gecko. It has a lot of carrot tailing, and the orange on this is more of like a reddish orange than it is like a yellowish orange, and that's what I'm going for with this group. This male is absolutely incredible. I cannot wait to pair this guy up. His coloration is on point. This next gecko, this might very well be my favorite Tangerine Carrot Tail Baldy. This one is also from TikisGeckos Creations, and this is one of their red dragon tangerines, which I believe this one has Inferno, Mandarin, and just a bunch of other line of tangerines. But my buddy Frank did a great job over there with this gecko in particular, and this gecko that and this line that he has of tangerines, because they really keep that red orange coloration. And out of all of my tangerines, I think this is, with the exception of that last Tremper male that I just got, this is my most reddish gecko I have. And I really, really love this girl. I'm not entirely sure what I'm gonna name her yet, but she is just so special. I cannot wait to see what these two produce. This next gecko I got is from another gecko from Extreme Exotics Canada. And this one is an emerine tangerine, which the emerines are basically a line bred trait that were bred to have some of that like greenish coloration along with the tangerine. But as you can see, this is primarily a just a full tangerine animal. It is a super hypo tangerine carrot tail baldy as well. And the carrot tail on this animal is very, very impressive. Now this girl will be breeding in 2026. She's still a little young for me to pair her up now. But you could see like she has some of those traces of like green in the middle there. Obviously it's kind of like washed out by the tangerine. Just an overall incredible gecko. That carrot tail is just insane. This female with my male there should produce just some fully orange tails, which is really exciting. Love this girl, and I can't wait to have this group together. Next, I am going to do a bold stripe project I'm going to show you. Stay tuned, because by the end of the video, I'm going to give you guys a very, very special look at my favorite leopard geckos of all time. Okay, so this next group of leopard geckos is my bold stripe project. Now this guy here is just incredible. You could see that really, really bold patterning. I really like when these bolds have a little bit of that lavender in them still, and you can see that in between there, some of those lines or those stripes, he does have some of that lavender coloration. Now he has a really nice yellow base color and just an overall exceptional looking gecko. I'm really excited to breed this guy. And his female that I'm going to show you here next is a perfect match for him. In the midst of this video, if you see any gecko and you think of a name that sticks out to any particular gecko, please let me know in the comments, because I still have to name all of these geckos. This is the next, this is his first female that is just like a match made in heaven for him. She is also a bold stripe. You can see they have that very symmetrical pattern down the middle there, and some of that lavender in there in between those bold stripes as well. Now both these two geckos come from Mojave Geckos. Really, really high-end stripes. I wanted to produce very symmetrical stripes for these, so I'm very excited about this one. All right, now this next gecko, oh wow, I have more geckos here. This is a total of 5 geckos. I forgot how many geckos I have for this male. But this one, obviously not ready to breed anytime soon. It's still very young. But this one comes from my friend at Infamous Exotics. You guys check he actually just started doing more YouTube videos, so check him out. He has a lot of really nice, bold, patterned animals. If you like the bold leopard geckos, make sure you check him out. But this female comes from him. And again, you can see those perfect 2 bold stripes running down the dorsal. And that is what I want with this group, like just producing very, very nice, thick, bold striped animals. So I'm excited about this girl when she gets up to weight, probably sometime in 2026. Now this female here, she is from Gecko Boa, with my friend John at Gecko Boa, and she is a Bengal bold. Now the Bengals are probably the most sought after, most beautiful, bold animals out there. I really, really like the coloration on their base color, that reddish, sorry, that like yellowish orange, and just the jungle bold pattern that they have. This is a pure bold female, and that male is actually a Bengal cross with a melanistic bold and all that in there. So it's gonna be interesting to produce some really nice, exceptional bold and Bengal crosses. Now, can't wait for this girl to be up to weight as well. She is one of my favorite geckos as far as temperament. She is just such a sweetheart. Now, this last female was actually a little gift that I got from my buddy at Infamous. He was nice enough to send me this girl here, and she is kind of like a firebolt, tangerine bold het Tremper. So I'm really excited to see if that guy happens to be het Tremper as well. A lot of leopard geckos end up being het Tremper, and he is a possible het Tremper, so we will have to see. But she is really nice, and if we prove out that male to be Tremper, it would be fantastic. If not, maybe next year, or I would say maybe 2027, we will pair this girl to one of my Tremper males. But this time, she's gonna go to that Tremper boy. Sorry, not Tremper, bold. She's walking all crazy. She's making me nervous. All right, so this next pair is a Tangerine Tornado male I actually imported from Canada in a trade I did with the Urban Gecko, and he is really, really incredible coloration. As you guys could probably tell by now, I really like the Tangerine Tornado line of tangerines. I love all tangerines, so I'm not opposed to kind of like mixing up the different lines and making some badass animals. I am of the train of thought that it is good to kind of like mix up the lines and try to get genetically diverse and strong animals, especially when you're mixing the best and the best of each line. Some people in the leopard gecko world, I am finding out, are not like that, but that's not the case with me. So I'll make pure tangerine tornadoes, but this female here is actually a mandarin tangerine that I got from Gecko Boa, and this girl is just also exceptional. The color on this female is just, I really, as you guys can tell, I just can't get enough of these tangerines. I think they're the most attractive leopard geckos, and the orange color on leopard geckos is just untouchable. Like, no other reptile has orange like leopard geckos. So I'm really liking this girl. This is a mandarin line tangerine female. So this is another gecko, another tangerine tornado that I imported in a trade with the Urban Gecko. And this gecko is just so clean. This is probably my cleanest and brightest super hypo tangerine carrotail baldy. I really, really love this male. It's between this one and that first tangerine tornado male I showed you guys, but I think this one is my favorite just because overall the body composition, the structure of the animal and the color is just like, this is a little bit of a thicker gecko where that first male is a little bit thinner and he's a little bigger. This guy's amazing. His color's insane, and he has like a clear distinction between that white underneath him and then the tangerine on top of him, if that makes any sense. Like from the mouth, the upper lip up, everything is tangerine, and then from there down, it's all white. This guy I can't get enough of. He is just absolutely incredible. So that male is just insane. I absolutely love him. And then this female is actually a sibling, a full sibling to that first tangerine tornado male I showed you guys. And she also has a very, very clean orange color. Oh, I got her. Leopard geckos do jump, man. Don't let them tell you they don't. She is a super bright, oh my God, I'm like fumbling this gecko. Super bright orange tangerine tornado female. So this will be my pure tangerine tornado pair. All right, so this next group is a trio of tangerine bolds that I am breeding to have some of that like lavender color, to keep that lavender color. Let's call them tricolors. Just kidding, leopard gecko people. Don't get mad at me. This guy just got into leopard geckos. He's gonna create his own line. Anyways, this guy here is a Bengal crossed with a mandarin Black Knight from Bayside Geckos. My buddy Brett here in Tampa breeds some of the most beautiful leopard geckos in the world. And this is actually a son to his famous bold Bengal, which is Jet, one of his females called 2K. So this guy, as you can see, he is a Tangerine bold, but if you look in between those black spots, there is some of that lavender, like bluish coloration, and he's kept it. A lot of geckos will hatch out with that, but will lose it over time. But this guy has kept it, and that is kind of like my focus for this project. This is a little bit of like a different project, not something that I see everybody doing, and I wanted to try out. He does have a little bit of a darker orange than some of my other tangerines because he was bred into that Black Knight stuff. So it's a Bengal bred with a Mandarin Black Knight, and you got this guy here. Absolutely awesome gecko from Brett at Bayside. Now this female is another like Bengal cross, and she is just so bright, you guys. The coloration on this animal is exceptional. This is the last, yes, wait, yes. So this is the last Molavi gecko I'm showing you guys. They're getting a ton of advertising with this video, but they do make some incredible geckos. And this is the last gecko I got from them, which I saw and I'm like, oh, this is exactly what I want for that male. You could see that it has that tangerine background color. Obviously the bold spotting there. And then in between some of that bold spotting on her midsection, she has some of that lavenderish color, which we can't, they told me they can't guarantee it will keep that, which I understand that. Most geckos lose it by now. So I'm trying to make these tangerine bolds that have that lavender in there as well. I just really love this look, and I think she goes perfectly with my boy over here. She's brighter than him, and I think she complements him very, very well. So I'm really excited about this pair. Okay, and now this last female that I have for that male, the second female, I'm sorry, is a purple head tangerine, Psycho. She is a purple head tangerine from Gecko Boa. Now, Gecko Boa were the originators of these purple head tangerines, and you could see that this is that really, really bright orange, red-orange tangerine coloration. I read somewhere that John said that he thinks that's due to like an underlying purple coloration that they have, which when they're born, these purple heads will have a little bit of that purple on their head, and then the tangerine starts to take it over. But you could see that this female here, she's a little bit crazy. I don't want to piss her off too much, but you could see that she has some really, all right, let me just put her in the deli cup so she doesn't freak out. But this female does have in between that tangerine and black spots in there, there is some of that lavender coloration as well. Now I'm wondering if that will kind of like pass down well with that male. At the very least, I'm gonna make some tangerine or some really nice colored animals with these two. So I thought it was a little bit of an experiment, but something that I thought would be really, really cool to incorporate with that project. See if I can make some tricolor tangerines, as I'm gonna call them. All right, so this group of 4 is my Bell albino group, but this group was actually inspired by the Hell's Bells of Bayside Geckos, and I'm like, dude, I gotta do some of those. So, as if they all don't look the same to some of you guys. Anyways, this right here is the male, and this male, for the life of me, I can't remember the breeder name, but I will put it down below here. But this male's a couple years old, and he's actually been bred, so he is a proven breeder. So he's not even at the peak of his coloration, but he's still holding his color very, very well. And this is, again, a Bell albino. So this albino line is different than the Tremper albino line that I showed in the beginning. And you could see that I'm really going for some of those reddish orange bells. Okay, so this guy is just absolutely insane. I can't wait to put him to my Bell females. And next I'm going to show you what those females look like. So these two geckos are actually full siblings. They're sisters. And you could see that the genetics of Tangerine and just overall freaking awesomeness run well on these girls. Now, I got them both because I couldn't decide which one was better, so I got them both. And they're so awesome that I'm just gonna breed them both. And you could see that I'm not sure if this would be considered a red stripe, since they do have kind of like a deeper red on the borders there, and then a little bit more of a yellow in the middle. But this is one of the females. She is a Tangerine Bell Albino. This one has a little bit more of that pattern rather than like that male that I showed you. So I'm excited to see what comes out when I experiment with these. I know it's probably going to be a mix, but this is the first of the two sisters, and they just have some awesome coloration. Again, I don't remember the breeder for these, but I will put it down below when I look it up. And I just don't remember the name of the breeder, but this is the other sister. Very, very similar look. Just absolutely insane geckos. Like, I love that like yellowish stripe running down the middle, and then the reddish orange all around the body. And these are some thick girls that are ready to breed, so I'll probably pair them up soon. But just these Bell Albinos are just awesome too. Can't wait to do more with them. And now this last female that I am going to be pairing up with that male is a Hell's Bells female from Bayside Geckos, which this is kind of like what inspired the whole project. So I said I have to get some Hell's Bells. And this is a Hell's Bells female. If you haven't seen Brett's Hell's Bells project, I highly recommend you check him out on Instagram and see what the Hell's Bells are all about. Some of his males are just so bright red orange, and this is why I wanted to have, you know, some of that line into my Bell project. But you could see that this girl is just super bright as well. Now, the males do tend to have a brighter coloration because when you incubate leopard gecko eggs and you want to incubate them for male, they incubate higher, and higher temperatures also indicate that the animals are going to have brighter colors. But with all that being said, in me considering all that, this girl still has some really bright coloration, and I can't wait to see what the Hell's Bells blood does with my male here that has some amazing red-orange coloration. All right, and the last leopard geckos I show you, I promise, is another pair of super hypotangerine baldies. I love my tangerine leopard geckos, and this is a big boy I named Clifford, just because how big he is and how sweet he is. And this guy is actually a product. I got him secondhand, so I'm not 100% sure, but I was told this was also a OG tang from Leko My Gecko, and he is just a beast. His structure is perfect. Nice, big, beefy boy. He's actually going into a shed, so that is him. Now, this last gecko was actually produced by B&M Geckos. This is just a super deep orange tangerine female. She is a great size. She is also ready to breed, so I can't wait to pair her up with Clifford. She has a mix of purple head, of just all sorts of different tangerine lines, and that's probably why you get such a deep orange coloration. Now, you guys, if that doesn't show you how much I love orange geckos, I don't know what will. And I hope that you guys seeing this video just kind of like motivates you as much as it does to me for the next breeding season of anything you're working with, honestly. But I just can't wait to actually start producing leopard geckos, and I can't wait for you guys to see. And if you like any of these guys, if you have name suggestions for any of these guys, please leave them down below. I will see you guys in the next leopard gecko video, which will come soon probably.